you planning to apply for a UK visa, or have you recently had your visa rejected? Don't worry, you're not alone. In this video, we're diving deep into the most common reason for UK visa refusal and, more importantly, how you can avoid them. Consider subscribing if you've not done so. Let's get started. So, whether you're applying to work, study, or live in the UK, these tips are very crucial for your successful application. The first reason why your visa could be rejected is incorrect or incomplete documentation. In the UK visa process, your documents are like your tickets. Providing incorrect or incomplete paperwork is one of the primary reasons for visa rejection. Small mistakes like misspelled names, incorrect dates, or submitting outdated or irrelevant documents can cause immediate disqualification. An applicant usually make little errors or common errors like uploading the wrong passport versions, incorrect identity documents, or forgetting critical paperwork like proof of qualification or financial records. And once you hit that submit button, you can't go back to make corrections. And a rejected application means applying from scratch, costing you more time and money. How can you avoid this? You can start by creating a personalized checklist of required documents. Double check and even triple check your documents for accuracy before submission, and also consider having someone else review your application for mistakes that you might have missed. If possible, seek professional advice to avoid any room for error. The next mistake that people make is financial insufficiency. So the UK government needs to ensure you can support yourself financially without relying on public funds. This is especially true if you're coming to study or work. So what you need to show in this instance, you must provide clear proof of your financial stability through bank statements, pay slip, and sometimes fees deposit. For example, Tier 4 applicants need to show they have enough money to cover their tuition fees and living costs for at least 9 months. And some common mistakes that is made in this regard is submitting outdated bank statements or not having sufficient funds at the time of application, failing to show regular income or even an explanation for large unexplained deposit can raise red flags. So what can you do in this instance? Make sure you meet the minimum financial threshold for your visa type. This amount differs depending on whether you're a student, worker, or dependent. Be thorough in your financial submission, so ensure you provide clear and recent and well-explained statements that show steady income and savings. And if you rely on a sponsor such as a family member, ensure their financial support is well documented and legally supported with the right evidence. And the third reason for UK visa rejection is lack of genuine intent. When you apply for a UK visa, particularly for temporary visas like tourist visa or work visa, the officer must believe you will leave the UK when your visa expires. And some red flag in this regard is if you have sold off your assets, you've quit your job without explanation, or if your reason for visiting the UK seem unclear, they may suspect you plan to overstay. What do they look for? The immigration officer look for strong ties to your home country. This could be financial commitments like property, stable employment, or close family connections. And they also cross-check the reasons you've given in your application with what you've told your sponsor to ensure consistency. And how do you avoid this mistake? Clearly state your purpose for visiting the UK and provide detailed documentation, e.g. your return ticket, planned itinerary of what you're coming to the UK to do, or letters from your employer proving you will return home after your visa expires. Another reason for refusal is sponsorship issues. For those applying for a work visa such as skilled worker visa, having a valid sponsor is essential. The sponsor provides a certificate of sponsorship known as COS, which is like a job offer from a UK licensed employer. Alright, and common mistake in this regard include applying with an incorrect or expired COS number, which will lead to rejection. If the sponsor's COS details such as job role, salary does not meet the required criteria or are incomplete, both the applicant and the sponsor could face consequences. And sponsors can even lose their license to sponsor visas if they don't meet the strict financial and legal criteria. All right. And how can you avoid this? Make sure your sponsor is a fully licensed UK employer and that your COS number is valid and up to date. Double check that your role and salary meet the UK immigration requirements. Incorrect information can harm both you, the applicant, and your sponsor's ability to sponsor future applicants. All right. Another reason for visa refusal is previous immigration history. So if you've been granted a UK visa in the past, it can make your current application smoother. But if you've been refused before, immigration officers will scrutinize your new application more closely. So what you need to watch out for when making this application, if you're in this category, if your previous application was rejected, you need to address the reason for the refusal before applying again. Not correcting this issue will most certainly lead to another rejection. So how can you do this? All right. Carefully review the reasons for your previous visa refusal and ensure that all of those issues have been resolved. You can also seek professional help to make sure that your application is strong at this time and covers any gaps or problems from the past. All right, like using immigration lawyers, for example. Another reason for visa refusal is overstaying or breaching your visa conditions or entering the UK illegally, such as working without permission on a student visa or even working outside your restricted hours on your previous visa can seriously harm your future visa application. All right, if you've overstayed before, the immigration officer may consider you a higher risk of doing it again, and visa breaches are even taken seriously and can lead to bans from re-entering the UK for several years. So always stay within the conditions of your visa. If you are uncertain about your visa conditions, such as your skilled worker visa or student visa, seek clarity from an immigration advisor. And if you've previously overstayed, include a formal explanation or legal documentation explaining the circumstances to mitigate the risk in future applications. And if you are a student on a student visa, you know you have like 20 hours to work, right? Don't try to work more than the 20 hours and think they don't know or they are not seeing it or they cannot catch you. My brother, my sister, to be forewarned is to be forearmed, and make sure you stay within the confines of your visa conditions, because in your future applications you will discover that you've done more harm to yourself than good, because they'll have more reason to put an eye and then investigate, and you don't want to be the one that is being caught breaching their visa conditions. So ensure you stay within the confines of your visa conditions. Another reason for visa refusal is criminal record. So if you have a criminal history or have been involved in any illegal activity, especially if it's related to security concerns, your visa application can be refused outrightly. So disclosure is key. Even if it's minor offenses, you must disclose them in your application. And failure to do so will almost guarantee rejection, as immigration officers have access to your international databases that track criminal record. All right. So how do you avoid this? Be upfront and honest about your criminal history. Some offenses may not automatically disqualify you, but hiding them will definitely disqualify you. All right. So if necessary, provide character references or evidences of rehabilitation that can support your case. Okay. Another reason for visa refusal is inability to provide a genuine relationship. For example, for spouse or partner visa. Okay, so if you are planning to move to the UK with a spouse or partner, you must provide evidence that prove that your relationship is genuine. This is especially important in preventing sham marriages or false marriages. So what evidence needs to provide? A marriage certificate is not enough, especially if it's not registered with your government. You may need to provide proofs like utility bills, joint leases, and evidence that you've been living together for at least 2 years. And how do you avoid rejection in this instance? If you're not legally married but you're applying as partners, ensure that you have enough proof to show a long-standing relationship, such as photographs, travel records, and joint financial commitments. Register religious marriages, e.g., church, Hindu, Muslim weddings, and all of that with your government to make them legally recognized. Even if you're wedded in the church, you need to like register with your government in court. Okay. So what do you do if your visa have been rejected before? The first option is judicial appeal. Yes, you can appeal. If you believe your visa was wrongly rejected, you can file a judicial appeal. This process involves challenging the decision in court if you feel like the refusal was unlawful. The second thing you can do if your visa has been rejected is humanitarian grounds appeal. For visitor visa, for example, you can appeal based on humanitarian grounds, but this is often difficult to prove and require specific circumstances, e.g., medical or compassionate grounds. Another thing you can do is reapply for a visa. Okay, so if your refusal was due to small error, reapplying with the correct information might solve the issue, like misspelled name, for example. Another option for you is applying for a different visa. So if you're eligible for another type of visa, consider reapplying under a different category that might fit your current situation better. All right, another thing you can do is also get professional help. If your application was refused, consider hiring like an immigration lawyer or professional service to ensure that your next application is flawless. So these are the key reasons, these are the major reasons for UK visa rejections and how you can avoid them. Please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? If you found value from this video, do well to subscribe to this channel, share this video, like this video, and if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section. And if you have questions on more videos that you want us to do or specific questions to you, you can write them in the comment section, and also you can click the link in the description box if you want a one-on-one consultation with us. All right, so until I see you again in my next video, I remain Comfort Gideon. Bye bye.